Welcome to Urban Legends, and in tonight's video, we'll be traveling to the icy and frozen wastes of Alaska, where Inuit tribes warn us of a terrifying predator that hunts in the night. This is the story of the Adlet Dogmen. The Adlet are half-human, half-animal beings found in Inuit traditional stories, especially in regions like Greenland and the Canadian Arctic. They are often described as part man, part dog, and are sometimes called dogmen because of their mix of human and canine features. In most accounts, Adlet have the upper body of a human and the lower body of a dog. They stand upright and walk on two legs, but their legs are covered in fur and shaped like a dog's hindquarters, ending in clawed feet or paws. Their bodies are large and strong, with long muscular limbs, and their movements are quick and smooth. They are known for their speed and stamina, and are capable of running vast distances across snow and frozen ground. The Adlet are often imagined as taller and stronger than ordinary humans, with heights exceeding 8 feet tall. Their canine features give them heightened senses, especially smell and hearing, making them excellent hunters or trackers. They are usually shown as wild and aggressive, not living in villages or among people, but in remote areas like the tundra, deep forests, or icy plains. These are cold, quiet, and lonely places, far from human paths, where the Adlet roam freely and avoid contact with others. They are feared in many stories, mostly because of their strength and wild nature. Adlet are not friendly, and they are often described as hostile toward humans. Some tales speak of them attacking travelers in villages, or running in packs through the wilderness. Their dog-like parts make them fast and fierce, while their human traits give them intelligence and cunning. The story of the Adlet begins with a haunting legend that has been told for generations, passed from one storyteller to another. In this tale, a young woman lives alone with her father. Suitors come from far and wide to ask for her hand in marriage, but she refuses all of them, some say out of pride, others say because she knew none of them were right for her. One day, a strange visitor arrives. He's dressed in woolen clothes, and keeps his scarf low over his face, but he speaks politely and offers many gifts. Her father agrees to the match. The wedding is quick, and the stranger takes the young woman away across the water to live with him. It's only once they reach a remote island that the truth is revealed. The man she married is not a man at all, but a large dog walking on its hind legs, clever enough to speak and imitate human behavior. The woman, now isolated and alone, has no choice but to stay. Over time, she gives birth to 10 children. 5 of them are like their father, with fur-covered bodies and dog-like features, while the other 5 are tall, strong, and mostly human, though still with animalistic traits. Eventually, the woman manages to send the 5 dog children across the ocean by building a makeshift boat or raft. In some versions of the tale, they become the ancestors of a foreign race. Meanwhile, the 5 who stay behind grow up quickly into the creatures now known as Adlet. These Adlet are different from anything seen before. They are faster than any man, running tirelessly across snow and tundra. Their bodies are strong, capable of great violence, and their tempers are wild and unpredictable. As they grow, they begin to lash out against nearby human settlements, attacking hunters, destroying homes, and dispatching anyone they encounter. Their mother tries to protect them at first, but eventually even she cannot control what they have become. Driven by fear, the people of the region band together and launch an attack. The Adlet, despite their speed and strength, are overwhelmed. Most are destroyed, but a few escape into the wilderness, fleeing into the vast and empty stretches of land where few humans dare to go. There, they are said to still live, hiding in the deep woods and along windswept mountain passes. Aside from the legends of the Adlet, there have been a few encounters with them. 2 of the most documented happened recently. In early 2020, a man living in a quiet and semi-rural part of the Niagara region in Ontario had an encounter that left him deeply unsettled. It happened late one night in January, sometime around 11 p.m. The sky was clear, and moonlight reflected off the snow. He had stepped outside for a smoke, as he often did, and was standing in his driveway when he noticed something move near the edge of the woods. At first, he thought it was just a trick of the light or perhaps a large dog wandering out of the forest. But as it stepped into the open, it became clear that this was not a dog or anything he had ever seen before. The creature was large, easily the size of a bear, but shaped more like a wolf or canine. It was covered in thick and pale fur that looked almost white under the moonlight. What stood out most were its limbs. The front legs were much longer than the back ones, giving its body a sloped shape like a hyena. It walked low to the ground, but not quite like a four-legged animal. There was something off about the way it moved. It was too smooth and coordinated. It didn't bound or gallop like a deer or dog. It glided, as if it knew exactly how to move silently over snow. As the man stood frozen, staring at it, the creature paused too. It turned its head toward him, and for a few long seconds, they locked eyes. The face was unmistakably canine, with a long snout, tall ears, and eyes that didn't reflect the light like a typical animal's would. The man would later describe the look it gave him as calculated, almost like it was studying him. Then, without a sound, it turned and vanished back into the trees. The movement was so fluid and quick that he doubted for a moment whether it had even been there, but it had, and he was left with a deep instinctive feeling of dread, not panic, but something older and more primal, like he had seen something he wasn't supposed to. He didn't speak of it for a while, not until his younger brother had a strange experience of his own just a few weeks later in February. One evening, the brother went out to take the garbage to the end of the driveway. As he turned toward the road, he noticed a pale shape standing across the street, just at the edge of a neighbor's property. It wasn't standing upright like a man, but it wasn't on all fours either. It was crouched low, almost hunched, as though it was caught between moving upright and moving like a beast. It lingered for a moment, then walked slowly behind a shed and disappeared. The two brothers eventually shared their stories with each other and began looking into what they might have seen. They ruled out coyotes, bears, and even escaped dogs. Nothing matched what they had witnessed. During their search, they stumbled upon stories from Inuit and First Nations traditions, specifically legends of the Adlet. The more they read, the more convinced they became that this was not just a strange animal, but something tied to older and deeper folklore, and they knew that they had both seen an Adlet Dogmen. The Adlet myth, while strange on the surface, carries deeper meaning rooted in Inuit culture and history. These dog-human hybrids aren't just monsters, they reflect tensions between the human and animal worlds, and perhaps more profoundly, between tradition and change. In many versions of the story, a woman marries a dog and gives birth to the Adlet, some of whom are exiled and grow into wild and fearsome beings. This split can be seen as symbolic, a warning about crossing boundaries, breaking taboos, or losing cultural identity. Some interpretations view the Adlet as a metaphor for colonial invasion. Their sudden spread echoes the historical arrival of outsiders in Inuit lands. If the dog husband represents the foreign other, the Adlet, which are part Inuit, part human, embody a kind of hybrid fear, something that doesn't belong fully to either world. They're caught between identities, and that in-between space is often where myths place the most dangerous things. The legend may also reflect the importance of balance with nature. The Adlet are fast, savage, and beyond control, perhaps reminders of what happens when natural order is broken. In this way, they serve not just as horror figures, but as cultural symbols, born from ancient stories, shaped by memory, and still running wild in the imagination. What do you think about the Adlet Dogmen? Are they real creatures, or purely legend? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, turning on all notifications.